Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kyla. I know it's been a while. I think my last video was like 3 months ago. So yes, it's been a while and a lot has changed, and by the title of this video I'm sure you guys can tell that I did quit my job of being an esthetician. I'm no longer a practicing esthetician. I still have my license. I think my license is valid for 2 years, but as of right now I am no longer a practicing esthetician, and I will tell you guys all about it and what I'm doing now. But yes, this is not like clickbait, and it's kind of why I've been gone for a while for a multitude of different reasons, which I'll try to touch on briefly. That's kind of why I haven't been around, because I knew that I was kind of in a transition period and I didn't have the job yet, but I knew that I was kind of like exiting that field, and I just felt weird continuing to make videos in a transitionary period. Also, it was a lot for me to digest, in a sense that I worked really hard to get my license, and it was just like really grueling on my mind and my schedule and things. So it was really like a difficult time for me to come to terms with that I would be stepping out of that. I kind of start feeling like it was for nothing, and I don't feel like that anymore, but I definitely had to work through those feelings of kind of feeling like that. So basically, let's just get into it. The main reason I quit being an esthetician, honestly, is because I did not enjoy it. I've always loved skincare. I've always been like obsessed with skin. I've always been obsessed with like maintaining the health of my skin and the loved ones around me, but it was just something about it becoming my job and my livelihood that really kind of started making me not enjoy it as much, honestly. I also didn't feel like I was drawing upon my personal strengths. I've always been a numbers girl. I've always been really good at math and like into finance. That's kind of will segue in a minute, and it's kind of like what I've always done since I've started working. So that's kind of like where I am strong. And if you know anything about being an esthetician in skincare, it's a lot of science. It's a ton of science. It's a lot of ingredients and molecular structures and the way things work. I'm a very, I don't know if it's type A, but like I like answers, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of would get frustrating to me that there were no like for sure answers in aesthetics, if that makes sense. Like everything was just so dependent. Everything was just so like it depends, it varies. And that just like from a foundational point bugged me for some reason, because it's just like not how my brain works, and it's hard for me, I guess, to be okay with that. I also didn't feel like I was really being challenged in ways that contributed to me feeling like of value, if that makes sense. I don't know, I was missing a lot of critical thinking. I was missing a lot of what makes me excited, what makes me feel fulfilled, and things of that nature. I was kind of missing a lot of that in the aesthetics realm. Okay, the lighting is not ideal. I apologize. I filmed this video a couple times, so it just kind of is what it is. But I'm gonna be real with you guys. The money in aesthetics is just honestly not what I desire. People that go out on their own and are more entrepreneurial, definitely you can make a lot of money there. I was hourly, which was a huge benefit for me starting out because I didn't have a ton of clients, but after a while you just start putting the numbers together, and you start adding up like how much the institution is charging for services and then like how much I'm taking home, and it just started to like not add up and make sense and be like something I was personally comfortable with. So all those things kind of accumulated into me feeling just like not really excited, not feeling like there was any room for like progression for me. It kind of led me to a decision that I just knew that that wasn't it for me anymore, and it was hard for me to come to terms with that. But yeah, that's kind of how I got there. So fast forward into now, I work in finance, which is like literally a full circle. I absolutely love my job, and I've just been feeling like an overwhelming amount of gratefulness, and just like this job is literally like line by line what I have been praying for to God. And I can go into more of my role, and I definitely want to show you guys more of that. Finance and things like that have always been something that are super interesting to me, just like financial literacy. I feel like there is a lack of that, especially in the Black community. So that's always been something that's super interesting to me. And I don't know how this channel is gonna pivot, but I would love for it to pivot that way. I just don't know yet, and I'm not putting any pressure on myself. Also, I did want to say I deleted my Instagram account. Like, I deleted it off my phone. It's still there, but I don't use it. I don't go on Instagram. And I know a couple of you guys were like reaching out to me like through DM. I'm more than happy to like give you whatever knowledge I have from my experience, but just as far as that being like a widely, like, I know that I've been putting that in the bottom of my videos, but just in that sense, yeah, I don't use Instagram anymore. I deleted it off my phone. So yeah, if I'm not ignoring you, is kind of what I'm trying to say, if anyone has reached out to me. Moving on into my new job, I basically work, I guess to put it in simple terms, it's called a CDFI. Basically, it is, we basically operate as a bank. So we basically operate as a bank. We are a lender, but we are a nonprofit, and we lend to mainly nonprofits in underdeveloped and underserved communities. So we're all throughout the Midwest. We do a ton of stuff on Chicago, in Detroit, which is like the office I work out of, the Detroit office. So it's just like something I've really been lacking in my like career, is kind of just that purpose and that mission driven. And everyone from my company is like, the mission does not get lost, and I love that. Like, everyone's so passionate about it. And also everyone, mainly they were like bankers, they came from bankers, so they're like just highly smart, intelligent people that it's like just an abundance of knowledge. And sometimes it's intimidating because I'm like, should I be here, guys? Like, are you guys sure? Kyla J. It is intimidating, but it's super challenging, and in a good way. I feel like I have not been challenged at a job. I've not had to like critically think or analyze and do things like that. I work a lot with like financial statements, reading financial statements of companies to basically just like analyze the risk associated with lending them money, and that's something that's new to me. So it's just been like so super exciting, and I am more than happy to share any of that with you guys. I have started making like little day in the life videos on TikTok, so I'll put my TikTok down below. Yeah, so that's kind of where we are right now. That's kind of why I've been gone. I'm actually back in school, finishing my bachelor's degree in finance. Literally, I told myself I'd never go back to school again. Like, life is just so crazy. I kind of wanted to also put this part in here and speak on this just as encouragement. I was at a job, a corporate job. It kind of tainted my whole corporate experience before I got into aesthetics, and it was absolutely horrible. And I was there for 4 years, and I just remember it being like such a low point of my life, because like it was horrible. Like, it was absolutely horrible. Like, everything you could think of in a classic toxic, like gaslighting, microaggression, like disgusting workplace is what this was. And it was just like so depleting, and it just made me feel so horrible. And I would just be like, all my friends would like move and go on to different things and get a new job, and I would still be there, and I would just be like, God, why am I still here? Like, why am I suffering in this way that just like sucks so much? So the job I have now, a bachelor's degree is required. I don't have that. So I just wanted to encourage you that when you're inside of the storm, it doesn't make sense. But I think that is just when you have to be faithful, know that God is good even when you are not feeling good, and trust him, because you never know how things are working. Like, having that 4 years of a similar kind of related, like very entry-level basic position on my resume is how I got here now. It's why they even gave my resume a second look, and I kind of just like sold myself basically. But yeah, just like encouragement that like it may not make sense now, it may seem horrible, you may not be able to see God's hand in this, but I promise his hand is always in it. He's always working for your good, and you just have to be faithful and believe in that. And also I feel like my story is just like a huge testimony of God qualifies the called, because I do not have the qualifications that meet this job, you know what I'm saying? And I remember during the interview process, it was a really long one. It was about a 2-month interview process. I had 6 to 7 interviews. I just remember the whole time I was telling my mom, like, Mom, I literally have none of the qualifications. Like, I don't think I'm gonna get it. And she was just like, stop speaking that over yourself. Like, you don't know what God is capable of, and what he has for you is gonna be for you, and like that's it. And it's so true. Sometimes I feel like you need someone that just reminds you who God is. So hopefully I can be that to you guys, and just remind you to stay faithful and just know that he is good. He is working in the midst of it, and if it's meant for you, it'll be for you, no matter what seems humanly possible, no matter what seems realistic. God is above all of that. So yeah, just a little encouragement. Again, I don't know how this channel is gonna look going forward, but I hope to share my new little adventure, my new career pivot with you guys, and just be as much help and light as I can, and encouraging and a resource. I hope to be all of that. I know that this is completely different, and I'm so sorry if you came here for the skincare content. I still love skincare, and like that's still always going to be a part of my life, but yeah, I just thought it was time. I'm like settled in my new role, and I just thought it was time to kind of like let you guys know. So yes, thank you guys so much in advance for understanding and being supportive. I love you guys. I thank you so much for all your support, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.